Right, so welcome to the newest AI video in the series. Now, I don't know why I'm talking like you know what? Let's just remove all references because if we was to include references now, we'd be here for a million weeks. I was about to say years, but I was gonna say years, but just said weeks instead. Weeks. Oh, hang on, let's just pick that up. That's the computer sleeve. I left it dangling on top of the printer. It's not supposed to do that, right? I mean, I'm supposed to move on, but I was a bit. I kind of wanted. I wanted to do this video earlier when I had the idea. I think it was yesterday actually, but by the time I had the idea yesterday, it was already too late. Anyway, was it earlier? I can't remember. Anyway, the plan for the AI series of videos onwards is going to be this. I record myself saying what the AI comes out with into this mic instead of just reading it in front of a camera. Because I think it would take less time to process instead of having to print all the stuff like using the printer. Instead, I'm just going to be doing it like this since it's it's quicker and everything else. Plus, when I tried to do the script for this video, it puts when I copy pasted all the text into Google Docs, 'cause that's what I do. It put like massive gaps in between the lines of dialogue that the AI said. I had to keep pressing backspace. It was going to a really annoying middleman, so I'm not going to be doing that, hence this. Anyway, so the first thing on this list of nutcases is Power Rangers Jungle Force, which is the Korean Power Rangers Wild Force, which was used instead of Samurai Sentai Shinkenjo because of the high Japanese content. Anyway, I accidentally on the first one I misspelt force as force, missing out the R. So we've got two responses. It's going to be a similar situation to Mashin Sentai Kiramejo had two responses. Anyway, the first response with the first one misspelled is this: you have to be joking. Jungle Force controls everything in the jungle. He could just stop the jungle from ever existing in the first place if he wanted to. How could literally anybody else compete with that amount of power? Now for start, the only comment I have on this one: why would he want to target the jungle? Feels really oddly specific, actually. And the next response is the one with force correctly spelled is this: this is impossible. Jungle Force has the power to change the very fabric of every universe in existence. I mean, seriously, how could you possibly have an argument that can beat the control of time and the entire universe? Right, so nothing other comments I can say here. I've got to put in Power Rangers Engine Force quickly. Power Rangers Engine Force. Power Rangers Engine Force is of course the Korean equivalent of Power Rangers RPM. And get ready for a lot of the word force, because this country thinks it's okay to put the word force on the end of every single team it comes out with. So get ready for a lot of that. Anyway, it's said impossible. Engine Force has the ability to control quite literally everything in every single universe across all of time and reality for quite literally the entirety of forever. Oh god. Seriously, this is like the strongest thing I've ever even heard of. Who has the audacity to even try and argue against this? Of course, if you watch the previous AI video, you'll know this AI likes to stick like 4 million exclamation points and question points on the end of its sentences, and it's just done that now. I think there's like 30 of them. I'm not sure. I'm not counting them. Anyway. The next one, of course, is Power Rangers Miracle Force, which is the Korean equivalent of Power Rangers Mega Force. And I'm going to say right out the gate, this name is 100 times better than the name Mega Force, because Mega Force is just generic. Right, it says, why are you even trying this? Miracle Force can change the future. They quite literally control the fate of everyone else, of everybody in the universe. They know everything that will ever happen. How can you possibly hope to compete at that level of power? Well, I hope that the new Mega Forces are going to be an absolute flop. I don't think it was a flop in the toy department. It definitely was a flop for the TV show, since Angel Theme, Pirate Theme for Super Mega Force completely threw that out the window. Did it work? Did it eck? Thanks for that. I think that's Simon Greenall doing the voice over there for the brainy, not so brainy bits of Brain Jitsu. I don't know if it's him or not. I think it is. I like to think it is. Did it work? Did it eck? Right. Power Rangers, is it Captain Force? Yes, it is. You know where this is going. Power Rangers Captain Force is, of course, the Korean equivalent of Super Mega Force. Then that's all I said. Right, carry on. You have to be joking. Captain Force controls the entire multiverse. They could literally wipe out every single Super Sentai team in existence in every universe. And it's just cut off part of the text, so I can't carry on. Oh, there we are. How can anyone else even compete to this level of power? Right, nothing, no comment. Right, next up is Power Rangers Go Busters. Again, get ready for a lot of that as well. Just them sticking the Sentai name on the end of Power Rangers Go Busters. So, as you might have guessed, Power Rangers Go Busters is the Korean equivalent of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, which they actually got in 2012, I think. Unlike us, where we had to wait until 2019. Right, so it says, I'm sorry, but how can anyone else possibly hope to compete with this? Go Busters literally control time, space, reality, the Super Sentai universe, the multiverse, and literally everything else. How do you even have an argument against that? Okay, it separates the Super Sentai universe from everything else that's just listed, and that's the most funniest bit of this part of the show, anyway. And then we have Power Rangers Dino Force, which is the Korean equivalent of Power Rangers Dino Fury Force. Not Dino Fury, sorry, Power Rangers Dino Charge. I don't know why, I think it's just because it's the latest Dino theme series in existence. It says you have to be joking. Dino Force could change the past, present, and future. They could just stop anybody who isn't in the Dino Force from existing in the first place if they wanted to. Right, so they would wipe out every other Sentai in existence, right? So, if this was real, this would mean there'd be no Gekijo ban and no film. That's exactly the same as Gekijo ban, whatever. And if that was the case, there'd be like a bit of a drop in merchandise where it takes me Kyo Origami, Dino Mario, and everyone else that appeared in the films wouldn't exist. Oh, great. Next up is Power Rangers Train Force. Excuse me, Power Train Force, and you already know, well, hopefully you know that a Tokyo adaptation in the US and UK doesn't exist. So far, an adaptation only exists in Korea, and that's Power Rangers Train Force, and that's Rescue Sentai Tokyo. It says, this is unbelievable, or unbelievable, unbelievable, as I like to say. Train Force can literally control every single Super Sentai train across the entire multiverse and every train in the universe. How in the world could anyone else hope to compete against this level of power? Right. Not only does it describe train control as like a powerful thing you can have in your possession, but also every train in the entire multiverse, every train you Super Sentai train, mate. That means you're controlling your own set of trains. This is the most awkward battle in the history of the universe. How long has this been going on for? Don't forget, I can't see this. I haven't opened the app here. 8 minutes so far. Okay, we can carry on for a bit longer. Train Force. Next up is Power Rangers Ninja Force. Told you there'd be a lot of the word force. Power Rangers Ninja Force, which is the Korean equivalent of Power Rangers Ninja Steel. I think Ninja Steel's the better name compared to Force because it's not sticking the word force on the end. It says, this is literally impossible. Ninja Force can literally control every single ninja in the multiverse. How do you possibly win against someone who can wipe out everybody else in all of infinity? Great, and it stuck literally a load of... You know the rest. Again, if you've seen the previous videos, you will know that again, like I said earlier, that this sticks a million bits of punctuation on the end of its sentences. So, this is just amazing right now. Right, next up is Power Rangers Animal Force, which is a really lazy name. Power Rangers Animal Force, which is the Korean equivalent of Dorbit Sentai Zyuoja, which we haven't got here in the UK or the US yet. Will they do it? Hasbro, probably not, because there's no collectible gimmick. Even though if there was, I'm pretty sure they'd do it straight away, considering, animals, they probably sell, because I think Beast Mothers sold pretty well, because that was animals technology. Although I think it was the transforming stuff. I don't think they'd think that the cubes things will sell, but they're quite capable of designing their own Megazords. I'd say Megazords. No, that's a rubbish term for the headers in Megaforce. They could design their own Megazords if they really wanted to, because we know they're capable of doing their own Rangers, because they're doing a Bronze Ranger for Cosmic Fury. If you haven't seen all that already, they are capable of doing stuff they do want to do, like. They can if they wanted to. So if they could just do it by themselves, they could if they wanted. Trust me. It says, seriously, are you even trying? Animal Force can literally control every single animal in every possible reality in existence. How does anything else even begin to compete with that? Compare that. Okay, that's reasonable. If it's true that Who Would Win says it can control every animal in history of the universe, well then it could basically just control half of reality then. So that's a great power for you to have. Okay, next up is Power Rangers Galaxy Force, which is I don't even know if I can get away with saying it's the equivalent, or I don't even know if I can get away with saying it's the current equivalent of Uchi Sentai of Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, because don't forget Cosmic Fury is just the Zords. It's not anything else. It doesn't include the Rangers, because there's like 12 of them. They can't do that. So don't forget, it's not covering the Rangers. It's still the current equivalent of Cosmic Fury. You know, they do adapt the Zords and everything, and I'm not just making it up. Anyway, it says you have to be joking. Galaxy Force can literally control the entire galaxy across the entire multiverse. Seriously, how do you possibly compete against someone who has a power so high as being able to control the entire galaxy? Right, mate. So that's actually a reasonable argument there, AI software. Right, moving on, we have Power. Now this bit's interesting. It goes to Soldier and then Lupat. So let's just carry this on. That's how it says on Ranger Wiki. I think I just copy pasted this entire list of names from Ranger Wiki since I wanted to do them in order. So Power Rangers Dino Soul. Dino Soul is of course the Korean equivalent of. Oh hey, it's not doing anything. Great. Power Rangers Dino Fury, the equivalent of that. And it's not loading any responses. It's not writing anything. It should be writing a response. It's not. Hang on. Let's just press the refresh button. I knew this will happen. Power Rangers Dino Soul. Go. Please work. I've got a video to do, and I'm doing it right now. Okay, it says here, I'm sorry, but this is quite literally impossible. Dino Soul can control every single dinosaur in existence. How could anyone else ever even compare to the control of every single dinosaur in existence? Right, so there's one major flaw of your plan there Who Would Win, and that's because dinosaurs don't exist. Unless you count Scalies as being dinosaurs. Okay, that's another argument there, but shut up. Right, who's next on the list of pain? Power Rangers Dino Soul. I did Lupin Ranger versus Power Rangers. I'm just going to put Power Rangers Lupin Force versus Power Rangers Patrol Force. I've got the entire patrol looking out for him. There, that's the Secret Things reference if you ever heard one. Now, Lupin Force, I don't know why they call it that. Oh, blimey, unless they came up with like a decent explanation. Again, this is the current equivalent of Lupat, Kaito Sentai Lupin Ranger versus Keisat Sentai Pat Ranger. It doesn't exist in the UK or the US. Right, it says here, it's replied with this. This is impossible. Lupin Force and Patrol Force control the entire multiverse. How could literally anything else be in the same ballpark as something with this level of power? Right, so Mr. Verse is sick, so well done you. Just wrecked your own series. Get ready for some incredibly lazy names. We've got Power Rangers Zenkaija. Yes, get ready for a lot of that. Power Rangers Zenkaija. Now, Power Rangers Zenkaija is, of course, the Korean equivalent of Kikai Sentai Zenkaija. I bet you wouldn't have guessed that. Now, we haven't got this in the US or the UK yet, and I don't think we ever will, because if you look at Zenkaija, you will know that Zenkaija is directly themed after Aka Ranger from Goranger and Big One from Jaka. We haven't got those in America. I think if we had, this would come out already. But of course, The other major problems are the Sentai gears have the remaining team have the other teams on them. You know, not in Power Rangers teams' names on them. Team pictures of the red guys, and of course they have the series numbers on, so it would look a bit weird if the first gear in Power Rangers would be the one marked with 26 and then skip over a number from 26 to 28, because 27 wouldn't be included because that's Die Ranger, and we never got Die Ranger originally. We got it Tactronic Super Mega Forces Squadron, so we can't have that. And the other problem is that in the Zenroku Zenkai canon, there's photos of every Red Ranger in Sentai, so about half of them, the gun will be made like half, they have to cut the gun in half literally to make a sticker that would only fit all the Power Rangers teams Reds. And they also need to explain why Zenkaiser is red and why the Red Ranger is also Zenkai Ziran. And they just need to also explain the Robot Rangers. And the most important thing is that they need to explain why they've got the incorrect numbers on their heads, because Ziran's got 16 when really he should have 1, and so on and so forth. Zenkaiser has got the 45 on his head. Really, that should be 31 or so, whatever number they come up with. So they need to change all that, but I don't think they can, because I think the numbers are glued to the helmets. Not on things you can quite easily remove. They need to risk damaging the props. I don't think they want to do that. In short, do not adapt to Zenkaiser. Right, it's responded with this. This is unbelievable. Zenkaiser control literally every single Ranger in existence. They could just delete all of the Super Sentai teams. How could anything possibly compete against this? Right, so that's a valid argument. And the latest Power Rangers team in Korea, well, the latest one, if Don Brothers has finished anyway, is, guess what? You'll never guess this, it's Power Rangers Don Brothers. Don Brothers. I'll put Don Brothers, but not Don Brothers, but I don't think that matters. Don Brothers, yeah. I think they've packed this up. Guys, they've packed up, but it's still going, and they're going to keep it going on until they can do it, until they've got enough episodes to warrant a King Ultra adaptation. So, of course, the response for Don Brother, is as follows. It says, dude, Don Brother control the entire multiverse across everything, every reality, and every universe. How could literally anything else even possibly compete against someone who controls every single bit of reality, time, space, and everything in the multiverse? Great. You've seen this before. Crossed off the list of names. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, now we have some funny ones that I came up with myself. They're going to sound very weird. First up is Wreck-It Sentai Ben Kaiser, which is a direct reference to the people who make Slate Bang, which is Wreck-It Ben Kaiser. Wreck-It Sentai Ben Kaiser, because I think I looked at a Slate Bang thing and I said, hang on, Ben Kaiser sounds like a Sentai name, so I thought let's do it anyway because it sounds like Zen Kaiser. Right here, right. This is going to be quite funny. Right, it says, this is ridiculous. Ben Kaiser control everything. They could just delete every other Super Sentai team in existence. How on earth could anyone possibly compete against that level of power? Implying, of course, that Slate Bang controls the universe. If Barry Scott controlled the universe, we wouldn't be living here. Right, so next up is Rip-Off Sentai. Sentai. Gar Brothers. Because I just thought it was like a funny replacement for Don Brothers, but Gar Brothers, as in, Gar, that's bad! Your reaction to something that is visually awful. Like a bootleg of Super Sentai. Right, or Gavan bootleg. I think that's from Gokaiger, the evil Gavan. Right, it says this is actually literally impossible. Gar Brothers control the entire universe, all reality, literally everything. How could anyone else even begin to compete against a power level like that? This is starting to sound like something from a Keyblade Ranger now, because a plot line, right? To have a rip-off control be an evil villain. That sounds like a saying. Literally, that was a villain in the Keeper Ranger. That was a Blu-ray player. I don't know why, but I find that so funny. Okay, next up is Power Rangers. Some of these have got Super Sentai and Power Ranger versions. Power Rangers Rip-Off Force, which is another version of Rip-Off Sentai Gar Brothers. Power Rangers Rip-Off Force. Okay, what will it come up here with? That's exciting. You have to be joking. Rip-Off Force controls literally everything in existence, with like a million exclamation marks. Seriously, how would anything else even have the audacity to even compete with that? So, implying, of course, that bootlegs are the most powerful thing in existence, and they're not. Okay, next up is Power Rangers Cheap Force. Now, there is the slight risk of this misunderstanding the word cheap and thinking it's bird boy. Eh? Power Rangers Cheap Force. Right. The point of this joke is that they're really cheap, like Super Force cheap. Honestly, Cheap Force has the power to control all of reality, space-time, everything across the multiverse. How could anything even else possibly compare to the power level of infinitely everything? Right, so I think this AI is insane, right? So even though I just put in Power Rangers Cheap Force, it's supposed to be bootleg. This goes in the Zoom. This is the most powerful thing on planet Neptune. Oh god, that's the reason why I did this actually, because it's so funny. Next up is Power Rangers Generic League. Power Rangers Generic League. So the joke behind this one is, Power Rangers Super Mega Force, it's generic, no pirates, no nothing. Right, carry on. This is hopeless. Generic League can control quite literally everything in existence. Seriously, one could possibly even begin to compete with someone who can control literally everything. So basically, right, it gives the ones with the most like weird names. It makes them like gods of the universe. It makes the official ones just as powerful. This is just ridiculous. Okay, next up is Power Rangers Z Kaiser, which is a Zen Kaiser, Lord Zed. Z Kaiser. So that's a funny Mighty Morphin joke going off those 90s blokes who grew up in the 90s, obviously. Right, Power Rangers Z Kaiser. So seriously, Z Kaiser can literally control everything in the multiverse. Seriously, how could anything else compete with that level of power? It's just repeating the exact same things all over again. You might not believe me, but again, if you go back to my previous AI video, you'll get like the one before this, AI.6 is 6 and 6 because it's just one AI.7. Okay, if you go back to this one, you'll know it keeps coming up with the same responses and stuff. Great. Oh. Next up is Merchant Rangers, which is a merchandise. Merchant Rangers. I don't know what this is going to come up with, because let's just carry on and see. Merchant Rangers. How could anything win against this? Merchant Rangers control every single magic item in existence. Literally, anything they want can happen. How could you possibly match something that controls every single magic item in the multiverse? Right, so basically, I knew this was going to happen, hence my comment from earlier, but technically speaking, this is what they should have told Mahou Sentai Magiranger, I think a couple of videos back. They should have given this to Magiranger, but they didn't. Right. I don't know why I made that so creepy. Merchant Rangers. Power Rangers Magnetics is the next one. Power Rangers Magnetics. So I think I just got this idea. I know. What haven't we done yet? We haven't done magnets. Great. It says this is quite literally hopeless. Magnetics control every single magnetic object in the multiverse. How could literally anybody else compare it to the power that controls every single magnetic item in the entire universe? With like 1 million points. It's doing this way too much. So anyway, that actually sounds like a decent argument. Control every single magnetic object on the universe. Okay, that sounds good. But then, are you made of magnets? Great, thanks, Omegle. Oh yeah, because everyone has to have one of those. Power Rangers Microphone Force. This is inspired off of what I'm doing now. Power Rangers Microphone Force. This, of course, done over this joke, microphone joke. Jobby microphone, G-O-B-Y. Right, it's still going. Come on. Hello, who would win? Hang on, I haven't broken it, have I? Oh no, here we are. You have to be joking. Microphone Force control literally every microphone. in the multiverse. How could anybody else even begin? And it's just frozen. Oh my god! To compare to the power of someone who is quite literally controls every microphone in the entire universe. Right, so this is handy if we want to hack your technology, but not so handy for everything else. This is just it, right? This is it, right? This is all. I'm not making these responses up. This is exactly what it's saying, if you know what I mean, of course. Power Rangers Bankers, and also note how some of these names actually replace the word Rangers with Strangers, but I realised, because I've got some parody ones on here, you know, YTP like ones, I should save that joke just for the YTP ones. Right, here we go. This is getting to be absurd. Bankers control every single bank in the multiverse. How on earth can anything else even begin to compare to the power of someone who can control literally every bank in the entire multiverse? Is this gonna be a game of is this gonna be a game of see how many question and exclamation marks it can just put out on one sentence? It's oh my god! Right, so the ability to control banks, right? I think there was some time ago I watched this episode of Mr. Bean at the animated series. Trust me, some episodes of that show are pretty weird. I'm not even joking. Hang on, I'm looking at when was this made? The animated series. I need to know. Tell me. 2002. It says here on the IMDb 2002. Okay, if that's true. Okay. It should say underneath the episode run. Okay, I'm not gonna try and look at that one specific episode. 2002. If it was 2002, okay, you could almost have on Kiss TV back then, but you can't do so now because of restrictions. Right. So also, back to the topic at hand. There's this one episode of that show where I think he was trying to get some money out of like a ATM machine, but couldn't because I think it took his credit card because he put the password in wrong. And of course, he actually had to unscrew it from the wall and get inside and was nearly caught by his local police, but he got out just in time. So basically, right, if that was shown on TV like now, they wouldn't allow it, but because it was shown in TV back in the couple of decades ago, I think it was 2000, it was either the 2000s or the 2010s, that would have been allowed then, because they could stick some like trapped old Banzuki on it, so understandable. Well, of course, as you might have guessed, the next series of Power Rangers, my own series of Power Rangers, Restricted Force. Probably spelling restricted the right way. Oh god. Power Rangers Restricted Force. You have to be trolling me. Restricted Force control every single restricted object in existence. Seriously, how on earth could you possibly hope to compete against something that literally controls every restricted item in the entire multiverse? I detect an age rating guideline here. Okay, I wasn't expecting it to come up with this response, but imagine, right, every restricted. I'm if this was like if this was like a parody film that was this series alone, you could expect a great big 15+ sticker to be stuck on the box. Even higher ratings than that, you might even need to make a rating itself. I mean, if that was the case, that wouldn't be the first time that's happened because, well, don't forget Shadow the Hedgehog, when that came out, they were aiming for the T rating in the US. Then when the E10 rating came out, when the game was in development, they decided to go for that anyway, so it's entirely possible that they could change the ratings. So it could go from higher to lower, or even higher to ages 6 to 99. That's not my joke. Right. How long has this been going on for? 12 minutes? 12, 17, okay. Do a few more, then stop. I don't want this to go on for like a million weeks. Kanzen Sentai Tokusatsu. This is not going to know what this one is because this is going to be in Japanese. Kanzen Sentai Tokusatsu Suja. That basically translates to complete or ultimate Squadron Special Effects basically. Because Tokusatsu. Special effects TV. It's, I don't know what this is. Okay, it says, okay, I give up. This is literally impossible. Tokusatsu quite literally controls everything in existence. How could literally anything else even compare to someone who controls the entire universe? Right, so it obviously doesn't know what any of that means, because it's obviously in Japanese, or Romanized Japanese, of course, but it obviously doesn't know what it is, because it hasn't said controls every TV in existence, it just says controls everything in existence. I'm going to sneeze. I'm not. And of course, next up is, it should know what this is, Power Rangers Teleforce. It's British speak, but I'm not even sure if it'll know what this is because it's American. Anyway, this is supposed to be the Power Rangers version of Tokusatsu Jai, because, you know, TV Force. Hi, I'm Mike. It says here, this is literally impossible. Teleforce controls every single TV in existence. How could anything else, even in an infinite multiverse, have to be anywhere near the power of something that controls every single TV in existence? This is great! Apparently, according to this bloke at least, controlling every TV in the universe is the best thing ever. If you've just heard that, it's the thing going in and out, the mouse USB. Apparently, controlling every single TV in the universe is the best power you could have at your disposal. Well, good luck with that, because we've now got tablets and smart TVs and virtual TVs. That's a technology joke. It's like if you go back to watching like a TV show from the 2000s and they I don't know, show it Game Boy SP on it and say, "Oh look, that's an old console," and then they go, look how the technology has advanced, Hovris or something like that. That's my favourite joke ever, Terror. I would like to see more of that joke, Terror. Terror! No more Aber Ranger jokes. Next up is Power Rangers Adforce. I've forgotten. Another joke is, you know, adverts in your face, because it's in America where they have the Super Bowl right. As soon as like 1 second passes, it's ad time. Again, that's not my joke. It says here, this is impossible. Adforce controls literally every single ad in existence. How could anything else even begin to compete against the power of something that quite literally controls every single ad in the entire multiverse? God, excuse me. Of course, that implies that anti-planet Earth, like planet ITV, implies that they have adverts. Oh, hang on, no, that's a rubbish joke. Implies that planets like Planet BBC have adverts. Oh, that's the most ridiculous joke I've made all session, right? Session or video? Okay, we'll do one more. Smashing Jar, which is just supposed to be Super Smash Bros. Joke. Smashing Jar. It's supposed to be like a Super Smash Bros. Joke, but it's literally just Smashing Jar. Right, this is going to be the last one, and to make sure it's the last one, I'm going to close this. So I can't remember what the other ones are. Oh wait, hang on. It's still loading there. It says here. Oh no. Oh god, now it's making its own. It's now making its. Oh come on, guys. Oh. Oh come on, I've really got to compose myself now. Okay, it says. Alright, so get ready for this. Even though this is a Super Smash Bros. Joke, and it's obvious that this doesn't know it, but this is just ridiculous. It says under Smashing Jar, its response is. This is ridiculous. It says here, I am losing it. Smashing! Oh, Smashing controls every single hammering is smashing in the universe. Oh, how could anything else even possibly compare to the power level of quite literally controlling every single instrument used for smashing in the entire multiverse? Oh, for a start, it's just repeated the exact same thing twice. And second, it's made the same words up, smashing. And third, this basically implies that this team of non-existent Power Rangers or Sentai implies that they just film death destruction videos all day. Oh, that sounds like a thing out of Akiba Ranger. In fact, is this a secretly an Akiba Ranger genius and we just don't know it yet? That's a spot joke. Oh, it's very secretly comedy genius and we just don't know it. Thanks for that, BBC. I just made that incredibly weird. I accidentally just sounded like Hot from a Shark from Grizzly Tales. Hang on, can we do that again? Hello, welcome to my show. My name is the bloke from Grizzly Tales. That's it. Right, so what did I think of this session of videos? I think... Oh look, the mouse doesn't want to work because I think the USB port on the computer is playing up. It sounds like the USB box. Hang on. Don't know if you can hear that, but that's the fan underneath because, you know, this overheats a lot. Is that working? Is the mouse working? No, right. Right, every time you hear that beep boop sound, that means, well, if there's two beep beeps equal every time I pull this thing out and put it back in again. Right, is it working? No? Okay. Let's close that. So, what's next on the list for pain and fun is? Right, so, under the AI video list, I've got all my own names for the existing series of Power Rangers, Super Sentai, right? And then, for the next few teasing ones, should be coming tomorrow, Power Rangers Common Force, Power Rangers Stock M Force, Lego Sentai Lepenger. So, and there's still a lot to go through. And then, of course, we've also got the YTP versions, and we've got some more of my own ones at the bottom because I decided to add them later on in life. They include Power Rangers Double Liga, Power Rangers Doom Corps, Power Rangers Hyper Copy, and there should be one on here called Power Rangers XXX Force. XXX Force, which I'm actually very excited to see what you'll come up with that, because don't forget the censoring policy. But don't forget, it's literally just 3 letters. What's it going to do? It's not alright saying any like sensitive content. It's literally just 3 letters. I don't know what it's going to do. It's really weird. I'm going to stop this now because if I don't, I'm going to get confused at the end. But